Kyle Walker-Peters to West Ham. Here we go. West Ham have agreed a 3-year deal with English fullback Kyle Walker-Peters. It's a deal that we've moved quickly on. He was all but set to go to Besiktas. Hesitated once he knew West Ham were coming in. We were interested. Had doubts. Besiktas called off the deal. They said, no, you either want to come to Besiktas, or you're done. If you know, you know. Leeds were interested. Everton were interested. But he wanted to come West Ham. Great news. This is a fullback, obviously 28 years old. This is a player that we were heavily interested in last summer. Player that we really want to use, our first choice, in fact. And Southampton were quoting us prices between 25 and 30 million pounds, which we then withdrew and then ended up getting Aaron Wan-Bissaka for about 15. And now we're getting him on a free transfer. Really great business, if you ask me, to have someone like Kyle Walker-Peters, who has been highly rated. I mean, he did come through the academy of those scumbag Spurs. We won't hold that against him too much. But I think there's a good player there. You know, really good defensive ability, tackles, passing, you know, those sort of things. And, yeah, I just look at it as a great backup option. We've obviously got Diouf coming on the left. We've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right, and the thought process is both of them will be going to AFCON in January, and Kyle Walker-Peters can be played either side, although he's predominantly a right back. So to go and get a player that we were quoted 30 million for free, I think is really good business. The only doubts I have is that it's Sullivan that's pushing for this signing. It's Sullivan that seemed to have liked him, from what I've heard. Apparently, Kyle McCauley and Potter did a U-turn on it. They initially was sceptical, and you know, now they're open to the move, which, you know, is a worry, because I don't like Sullivan getting involved. He's massively unqualified when it comes to transfers. However, objectively speaking, this is a good deal for West Ham. Like I said, many other clubs interested. We've got him on a free transfer, 3-year deal. So there's no way I think you can complain about it now. Obviously, we didn't find that pint later on. I think Scott might find a way to complain about it. I don't think he rates him at all. But no one can say he's a crap player. He was one of the standouts at Southampton. He was the one other teams had their eyes on, linked to various other teams. And I think this is positive that, you know, we've made another move now. We're getting fullbacks in. You know, we've just signed you for left back. We've signed Kyle Walker-Peters. Give me my midfielders. Bring me some damn midfielders. That's what I want to see. We've got the fullback set up. The defence, in general, I don't think there's a desperation to spend money on it. Yes, it was poor last season, right? However, it did have a shambles of midfield in front of it. It was constantly changing. It was a back four for most of it. I think with a back three, with a fully fit Todibo, Kilman, Aguerd is what I want to see. Just spend that money in the midfield. Spend that money up top on a striker and see what other deals. See if we can get this Grealish loan deal over the line. See if we can get a Harvey Elliott. But this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to be shrewd in the market. We're going to have to find these transfers like this, like free transfers. Like I said, this would have definitely cost us over 20 million before. So, you know, if we're clever and we're smart in the market, we can get what we need. Of course, it's not going to be us winning the window, but we won the transfer window last year, and where did it get us? So we have to be smart. We really do, and I'm just hoping now that that's it. We can push on in the window. It's the 18th of July, and we've got 2 signings in plus Todibo's permanent move, which we had to do, so I don't even count it. But 2 signings in at fullback. Let's keep this momentum going. Now we've still got the rest of the Kudus money to go and get the next player in, and then hopefully in the meantime get some sales done. I think Kyle Walker-Peters as well isn't just like, oh, he's a bona fide backup. You can give competition to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka was brilliant last season. Some people don't rate him. Like, it's rare. I've seen a couple fans. It's universally fans seem to agree. Like, he had a great season, but he needs competition. You know, this isn't just a little youngster that can come in and just sit the bench. He'll push Wan-Bissaka. Definitely, and he could potentially push Diouf on that left-hand side if we need to play him there. You know, we know that Potter, if need be, will play a right back at left back. You know, he had to do it last season with Soufal, with Wan-Bissaka in certain games. So, in this instance, it wouldn't surprise me to see that. And yeah, I'm just hoping now we can kick on. Like I said, I'm never gonna be fully optimistic, right? My expectations are low and I'm keeping them that way. However, I am encouraged by the first couple of signings we've made so far. I'm encouraged. I'm not getting carried away. I'm not getting excited, but I can look at these deals in isolation and say, good deals. Well done. So it looks like it's all but agreed. He's got to have a medical. You know, he's agreed to got to have a pending medical, and this should be wrapped up nicely by Monday, I hope. And then we can move forward. Get Harvey Elliott done, which is going to be tricky because of the fees, the prices, and things like that. But if we can get that over the line, I think that's a good deal. And then a Grealish loan deal. We're starting to really look like a serious team, and then we can really judge Graham Potter. Like, this is the thing. If he gets his team, he gets back to the window. Look, he's not going to be back to the level of Moyes was backed. He's not going to be back to the level of Lopetegui was backed. He's not going to get that big 150 million plus window, right? But at least if you can look and say, he has players that he wants, then you can judge him. And I'm not expecting, like, obviously expectations are going to change when the window closes, right? But depending on the window based on the window I think we're going to have, I'm not expecting, you know, the world here. I'm not expecting us to get top 6 or anything like that. Even if we fall short of top 7, I want to see better football. I want to be more entertained. Like, I'm not saying that necessarily we have to be a, you know, Pep Barcelona team, but I just generally want to be more entertained. And sometimes when you being a team without the ball, that can be more entertaining. When you're playing on the counter, there's times on the Moyes when we played on the counter attack with the Lingard thing, I was entertained. Like, it's what we do when we have the ball, and I want to see us more direct. I want to see us just trying to get to the other end of the pitch as quick as possible, and not death by 1,000 passes. Do you know what I mean? Like, just passing it sideways and backwards. It's fine if those passes are clear and decisive. You know what I mean? You're trying to stretch the opposition and move players out of position. But when you're just standing there idly looking around going, who do I pass to? Who do I pass to? And then all of a sudden, like, that's it. You just make a weak pass to the side or to the back. That's not what I want to see. And with someone like Kyle Walker-Peters, with his passing ability, when he's on the ball, you know, he can make those passes when we've got him. You know, and Wan-Bissaka, I think, as well as our players, is a lot more direct. You know, what we can see, he's able to take players on last season. He was really good going forward. Also good defensively, but he did good going forward. So it's given me a little bit of positivity. People say I moan all the time, by the way, like because I didn't like a flipping football kit. You moan all the time. You're never positive. They won't watch this video, will they? If you're one of the people that said I moan all the time and I'm negative, comment. I dare you to comment on this video, because I was positive on the Diouf signing. Like I said, if it's something that's positive, I'm gonna call it. But I don't know how anyone can look at this as a bad deal, considering the options that we've already got at fullback. I don't know how anyone can look at this and go, this is shit. it's good business. Like I said, the only skepticism I have is Sullivan's involvement. That's my only worry. However, Sullivan aside, you look at the player, you look at the deal, and go, yeah, right, that's good. If we was to go and splash some more money on a backup fullback, then I would be concerned. I'd be concerned about it because I'm thinking, right, how much money are we saving? It's going to be very interesting next season. As I said, I'm fully behind Potter, but let's see what he's given. Let's see the rest of the tools he's given. Let's keep on moving. I want to see a new midfield in, or at least half of a new midfield in by Sunderland. I don't want to see us to go into Sunderland, the first game of the season, with the midfield we have. So, keep on moving, West Ham. Keep on getting these deals done quickly and decisively. And let's see what we can do next season.